this is a comp video, so it may be a little bit longer, but this is my favorite part about real estate, whether you're on the buy or the sell side, because I'm good at my numbers and I love running my numbers. I was never good at math and I usually like a hot mess when I'm running them, but they always come out good because I'm very meticulous and I'm very particular and I know my target market areas and what these numbers need to look like to make sense, but to also get the deal done, whether I'm on the buyer or the seller side. So hang tight and we're going to go through this on this property. So first things first, this property is located in Savannah. So we have a specific MLS that this would be in. It could be in two. It could be in the Georgia MLS and or it could be in the Savannah MLS. I don't like the Georgia MLS because it doesn't give me the information that I need. I use it for comparables when I absolutely have to. But if it's a Savannah location and it's in the Savannah MLS, then that is where I preference pulling this information. It's going to be the most up to date. Now, a part of this process is going to be me going into my MLS and filtering through a few things. So I'm going to show you what I do. First things first, we're going to come over here and we're going to pick solds. A lot of people will use expires, withdrawns, active. I don't like to use that at first. I want to pull my solds first because this is what an appraiser is going to look for if they decide to get it appraised. Plus, it's usually best for my clients when they're trying to do a cash deal. Next, I'm going to go up here to map search because I have the address. This is the most effective and quick way to pull this information. This is going to pop up, a big old map. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump to an address. So I'm going to put the address in here that we are looking to run comparables on. It is going to pull up a condensed location. I'm going to pull it out a little bit because I want to see the actual location based off of what I know about the immediate area. Now, if you're not from Savannah or you don't know a lot about Savannah, there are certain areas that we kind of stick to. Really quickly, this is not me leading in any kind of way as a good neighborhood, bad neighborhood, those things. Now, I keep things in mind of what I know about areas for my clients when they are looking to buy and sell. If we are looking into an area that could potentially be a little bit harder to sell in after they do it because they're going to redo this house. Like this is intended for them to purchase, redo, and resell. If we're looking at an area that could potentially be one that I know is going to be harder of a sell when they put the money in and go to sell it, then I'm going to give them that information. They can find this information on their own. I provide them with how to do that, but I know certain areas between certain parameters, around certain roads, closer to certain things, further away from certain things, that the price is going to fluctuate. So that's what I'm looking for. Not really good or bad or indifferent, just what is the price point really going to be for that particular location within a certain parameter. So for instance, we have the Savannah Ports Authority or the Georgia Ports Authority in Savannah. There's two locations. You have the one that's a little bit further down the river that is going to be where they do a lot of on and offloading of vehicles. And then you actually have the larger portion of the port once this loads, that has more berths further up the river that are down in this particular area where you can see all the offloading and things. This is where the majority of like your actual on and off ship stuff comes from as far as your big containers and things like that. I think it's actually a little further up here. Like down here, you'll see that this is like the main portion of the port. These are all of the cranes. My husband actually works on these. Little tidbit for you there. But anyway, as we come back down here, like this area is very lucrative because a lot of people that work at the port want to be close to this area, or if you work downtown, because it's close to downtown. Now, the subject house that we are actually looking at is right here. Now, 516 is a major vein into and out of Savannah. Okay. And Louisville Road also is a major vein in and out of Savannah. So we want to stick to these main roads that are going to be following where our subject property is. We don't really want to come over here if we don't have to. And we don't want to come up here if we don't have to, because this is another 25 is another main road. This actually goes into South Carolina. So we want to stay in this particular area. So what we're going to do is we're going to capture this particular area by using this little tool right here. We call it a polygon. Hold on, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so now that we have captured our subject area in blue, we could capture up here if we wanted to, but for now we're gonna stick to this because you can see there is a lot of options in here. We're gonna get this down to the results and take a look at what these properties actually look like and how they compare to this property, and then ones that have been sold recently that have been updated, which is the goal of what my clients are trying to do, what those dollar amounts look like. As you can see, once you get into the results page, there is a ton of information here. We have the MLS number, we have that it's been sold, how many days on market, what type of home it was, address, zip codes, prices, the list price per square foot, the year it was built, bedrooms, full bathrooms, half bathrooms, garage or no, waterfront or no, square footage, how many acres, and then what kind of condition. So we're gonna dig into these a little bit and I'll show you how I go through my comparables. Again, this video gets a little lengthy, so just bear with me, skip through if you want to kind of find that particular information you're looking for. Right off the rip, this property is only located in the Georgia MLS, which tells me that this is an investor that already has it or a corporation. So that is going to affect how we offer on it, what kind of price we offer on it. So I'm going to pull in here, look at all the details that you can see here, and make a judgment call on price of the home and location to be able to basically guide my clients into the highs and lows of this property. You can see it's a $50,000 property. It's this home right here. There's literally one picture. The agent is not even in our local market, so they're out of Atlanta. So that tells me that this isn't even a local person, so we may have to be a little bit aggressive. However, they're clearly trying to offload this because they just recently dropped the price from $95,000 to $50,000. When we're looking for square footage and things like that for Chatham County, there is chathamtax.org. You plug in this information and I'm going to show you what it pulls up. Now, before we go any further, know that this is public information. I did not have to put in any credentials. I didn't have to pay for anything. It's 100% public information, so I'm not showing you things that you're not supposed to see. You can find all this on your own. When we pull this up, we are looking for this information here and this information here because I want to know the square footage and I want to know the acreage and I want to know the year it was built. We're going to use some of this other information too. Anyways, you're going to take this information and you're going to look at all the details. Your square footages, it's going to compare your bedrooms, your full baths, your half baths, so forth and so forth. This is your list price. This is your this is your list price. This is your list price per square foot, your closed price per square foot. This is really important because when you average these out, this is what we're using to figure out our numbers, because ultimately an appraiser should be looking at this price per square foot when we go to resell. The reason I say that is because we are not looking at right now. My client is not having this home appraised, okay, for them to obtain it. What they are looking at is what is going to happen on the back end when they obtain it, fix it up, and then sell it. More than likely, it's going to be lending, so there's going to be an appraisal involved. So that is why we want to stick so close to numbers that we can justify through the lens of an appraiser. So very quickly, now that we have looked at all this information, these are the most comparable. This is within, actually it's less than 100, but this is within 100 square foot on both sides. I look at the high side, the low side, and I want my square footage to be right around this number within 100 either way, okay? That to me is important. Now, it's split 2 and 2. 2 3-beds, 2 2-beds. So we are going to go with a 3-2. Mine is a 2-1, but this still all would factor out. Mine's a little bit older, but close enough that that's not going to affect anything, especially since they're redoing it. And now we're going to look at about the average days on market. It's about 45. And this is I'm sorry, y'all can't even see that. This is including days that it was under contract and things like that. That's not just the days that it's set on the market. So we're going to take these two numbers since they are within 10 of each other, and we're going to factor this and run this on a scale for my clients. Based off of this information, we're looking 151 to 157,000 is what they should be able to sell it for, but keep following.